What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You already know what time it is. You're in the Birdcage. This is your boy, the historian. You either get right or you get left. You know how we get down. Hey, hit that like and subscribe button on your way in. We're going to go ahead and get this thing started. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. We got you covered. We'll get at you momentarily. It's the Birdcage. Let's go.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
Hey, you already know how we get down. You either get right or you get left. We up here in the Birdcage. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. We got the magnificent Birdcage crew coming in tonight. We got K-Dub, Coach Cam, and Graybeard. What's going on, fellas?
What it is, what it do, fellas. Good to be in the building with the whole squad. You know what I'm saying? Good to be in the building with historian, Mr. Coach Cam, and Great Beard TV. And like I said, ready to get into this matchup. Let's get back on the right side of winning, and I'm ready to see these Falcons go down here to Tampa and handle and take care of business.
As you can see, I'm sitting here messing around with a couple of the gadgets or whatnot. You know, different things and whatnot. Folks can see the background a little bit better.
You got
that
new
bird's
toys?
eye view. A few new toys, as you can see, but again, gotta play around with it a little bit. So, man, let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. So, thank y'all for coming in. We also see the folks that's in the chat right now. We definitely appreciate y'all for stopping through the Birdcage and giving us a little bit of your time. First off, we want to go ahead and say. We actually really want to go ahead and say congratulations to a former Atlanta Falcon / Georgia Bulldog, Mr. Terrence Edwards. He is now officially a part of the SEC Legends crew. He made that earlier this week. Congrats. He is officially an SEC legend. So shout out to Mr. Terrence Edwards, the only 1,000-yard receiver in Georgia Bulldog history. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Man, we're doing pretty well, man. I'm just looking forward to the matchup, man. Been crazy in the city today, man. We got a little bit of political going on here, man. We got a lot of celebs in the building, so traffic was no comment.
I see. I was gonna say, but you still made it on time, man. So we ain't mad about that at all. So, fellas, let's go ahead and talk about this here right now. First thing we're gonna jump on tonight is, excuse me. Falcons need to capitalize on a weakened division this weekend to secure a playoff spot. How do y'all feel? How do you guys feel about the Falcons at this point with this division? We see New Orleans has gone down with injuries. Alvin Kamara is getting ready to get traded to Denver, possibly. You have the Bucs that lost their 2 starting wide receivers, and Carolina is now going back to Bryce Young. How do you guys feel about this as a whole so far?
No excuse. I mean, it's literally no excuse for us not to be able to win this division. We got everything ahead of us. Even though we got a few injuries of our own, it's not as much significant at Tampa, who, Godwin, man, hey, man, God be with you, man. That was a bad injury. I hope for the best for him, whatever the case may be. But, with everything with the ankle, I didn't know about the Kamara trade. Good grief. I can fire Phil. And then with Carolina going back to Bryce Young, I think they got something to do with Andy Dalton being in that car accident
Yeah.
that he was in. Luckily, that all his family members were okay and he all right. So that's always good news. But it's no excuse for the Falcons not to be able to win the division. No excuse. And if we don't win the division,
Heads
win the
gonna roll.
division,
Heads
head
gonna
gonna
roll.
roll, head gonna roll. And unfortunately, I love radio right here. It's gonna be at his doorstep because you got everything ahead of you. Like I said.
Here's the thing I'm gonna put out there, and I'm gonna let you guys chomp on that. Terry Fontenot does not have a contract right now. Terry Fontenot is not secure job wise right now. He's not. Because if he was, they would have extended him already and they would have put that contract there. I want y'all to look at this. Terry is pretty much in a prove it year, as they would say. His first 3 years were a mulligan because he had Arthur Smith here. But let's be real. You are on a prove it year this year. If you win this division, you get this team to the playoffs, you have a chance in the extension. I like Terry. I want Terry to stay because of everything that he's done and he's brought to Atlanta so far during his tenure when he finally got the handcuffs pulled off of him.
Mhm.
But we also know some other reasons why he's going to have a bit of a shorter leash than Dimitrov, which is the obvious, but we're not going to even jump on that. But because
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole nother can of worms. But Terry has to win this year in order to maintain a job here in Atlanta. How do y'all feel about this one?
Me personally, I think it's silly that we haven't extended him. Look at what he came into, a team that was in cap purgatory for the last, I want to say, what, 6, 7 years prior to him getting here. You secured the quarterback of the future in Michael Penix Jr. You masterfully brought in free agents like Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates and Matthew Judon. So you've had multiple really good drives in the 3 years that you were here. Maybe not the first one, but again, he didn't have full control of doing those things. So when you look at the things that he has done and he's been able to create here in Atlanta, you don't give that away because he's shown what he can do when he's given the support from the front office as well as Arthur Blank. And then he's also been able to transform this team into a contender. He can't be on the field coaching. He can't be on the field playing. He can only bring in the pieces that are necessary to come here to do the job. And whether people like it or not, he has done one hell of a job. Like, let's just keep it 100. Terry Fontenot has rebuilt this team almost from the ground up because of what Terry Dimitrov did, as well as Rich McKay did. So you had two terrible football minds in the front office running the show, and now you got him here, and look what he's built in 4 years. So he should have a much longer leash, and there's no reason why this man does not have a contract.
Well, I feel the same way Coach Cam feels. I mean, it's absurd. I just feel like Terry's done so much, and I just feel like you're poo-pooing what these guys has put on the table out here and got us out of cap purgatory, like Coach Cam has said. I just feel like we owe this guy something. And we got to go out and win. I'm not gonna.
Oh,
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna talk negatively about Coach Raheem. I feel like we're gonna win this division. Every game in this division is a must win.
hold up, K Dub. We hear kids in the background. Who's got kids going in right now?
Hold on a second. 1 second.
While we waiting on K Dub, he's playing his daddy. He's playing his daddy part right now. Y'all gotta understand. We even though we do this show, we do have family and things of that sort. So please excuse that. But getting back to it, Terry built this team in a way that you can have some things to where you can build on.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
You got it to where you can build on it. And at this point, all we can do is just sit back and just hope, as we would say, when we say hope, we can hope that they're smart enough to give this man an opportunity to remain here in Atlanta. Because think about it. When's the last time we've seen a city of Atlanta excited about a team that we've had? When's the last time you've seen everything come together? Because at the end of the day, this is all about trying to win. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what, and I'm just gonna keep it a buck. It don't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter if you're the first coach. It don't matter. The only thing that matters is winning. From the front office on down. That's the only thing that matters. Because at the end of the day, it's just like this. If you don't win, as you guys said, heads will roll. There's no excuse with a weakened division, with injuries and everything falling in your lap. Everything is falling in your lap right now. You have to take advantage of it.
Got to.
Because everything's earned, not given.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, winning cures all. And let's be real. In the last, I want to say since 2017, we haven't sold out that many home games.
Nope.
We've played, if I'm correct, we've played 3 games so far at home. All of those games have been completely sold out. It's been standing room only. And that's because of the job that Terry Fontenot, Coach Raheem, and Arthur Blank have created. They created an atmosphere where people want to come to the games. They're not hanging out in a stadium kicking it. They're not out there tailgating. People butts are actually in the seats, and the bench is fired up. So, with everything going on in our division, we have to play complete and utter team ball, and that's the one thing that's currently lacking because we don't have a complete game on the books as of yet. So we can't blame Terry for that. He brought the pieces in to give us the opportunity to do that. Our coordinators, as well as the head coach, have to get on the same wavelength to get these guys to completely buy in. Because again, like you said, the Aints is down. Carolina is a circus of a franchise right now. And Tampa, they've lost their best 2 receivers. So you're going to be pretty much playing against practice squad guys. So this is an absolute must win. You cannot lose this game.
Absolutely.
You cannot lose this game.
Absolutely. I mean, just to piggyback a little bit what you said, it's no excuse. I mean, we got everything ahead of us, like I said at the beginning. But at the same time, I just think Raheem and the coordinator got to find something. I mean, the closest thing we had to a complete game when we played Carolina. That's like the closest. We haven't had a complete game, but that was like the closest thing we had to a complete game, especially how we clamped down in the 3rd and 4th quarter, and we still to deal with that interception. So I just think we need to play our first complete game against Tampa.
This will be the time for
it. And so in the next thing, we're talking about playing a complete game. Let's talk about this. You can't play a complete game when you have a major flaw and a major deficiency in your defense at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Your strong suit of this team is your defense. Guess what? We have no pass rush.
Nope.
We have no pass rush. And my thing is, I don't care. I'm going to be the wet blanket today. I got time. I'm going to be the wet blanket because this should have been addressed a while ago. I don't give a damn. This stuff should have been addressed a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Been saying this since the offseason. You should have brought in another pass rusher to mentor Brandon Dorlitz. Or if not, let the kid play. Is it the fact that the kid is not learning the playbook at this point? Is it the fact that you don't trust him just yet? What's the problem? Because guess what? You took him early. Arnold Ebiketie ain't getting it done. Arnold got to go. Lorenzo Carter got to go.
He going IR.
I'm not speaking on just playing. I'm talking about he got to go, period. Even Even with him being
Even
on IR,
IR,
give him
he
his
gotta
damn
go.
pink slip while he in the hospital. I'm sorry. He gotta go.
He body.
Hey,
Hey,
and
look,
y'all
you
know
still,
I'm
hey,
the
look,
biggest
you
y'all know I'm the
still a
biggest
forever
Lorenzo Carter
dog,
fan here.
but you gotta go.
Yeah.
Y'all know
I
I'm the
love
biggest
him,
Lorenzo
but you
Carter
got
fan
to
here.
go.
But
You gotta go.
hey, I'm with y'all, man. Lorenzo Carter has been an absolute disappointment, and it's time for us to go ahead and cut bait. Try to get
Yeah.
something for him, but hey Zoe, I love you, man.
You ain't
I
gonna-
love you, dog. You're still my boy,
Man.
but you've been an absolutely and utter disappointment, bro. Like you're
Man, you couldn't
just a
even get a
waste of a
Chico
roster
stick
spot.
wait a minute. You couldn't even get a Chico stick and a doggone 25-cent corner store juice for that boy. What you talking about? Getting some value for him, man. Come on, dog.
Try to
You
get
can't get
some.
nothing for him.
You ain't gonna get nothing for him. Nothing.
I'll take
All
the
I'm gonna say
four.
is
At
this,
this
man.
point, give me a six.
Here's the
You
thing.
won't even get that.
Zadarius Smith right now is probably the closest thing that we're gonna get because he's 32 years old. My thing is, I want Myles Garrett or Max Crosby. I've already
You
said
ain't-
that.
you ain't
But the
getting that.
problem is they're
Yeah.
not going to try to give up that much for him right now. They're not.
Nope.
The way that
We're
this
not.
front office moves, they're not. And at this
Hell no.
point, I said I don't want any more retreads of old players unless they're productive. Smith has been productive, but let's be real. He in Cleveland right now. The boy is in Cleveland, and Cleveland is trash right now. Straight trash.
I thought he was with the Titans.
He with the Browns right now.
Damn.
And they having a fire sale too while you playing.
You ain't
Exactly.
lying.
Why do you think I said Myles Garrett would make the most sense with that fire sale? That's an investment. Just
But they
like you
wanna-
invested into bringing in Bankhead Bates, that is what else you bring in.
They want a high first for him. I guarantee you that because they're gonna go after a quarterback.
No,
We
they're gonna
got
go after
our quarterback.
They're
We
gonna
got
try
our
to get it,
quarterback.
man.
Yeah, they
I'm not
gonna-
worried about no that. I'm not worried about no picks. You're not getting Penix. I'll
Thank
give
you.
us some picks. I will give us some picks.
Thank you. Look, bro. We already drafted practically our defense, our new defense last year. This year that just went by. We practically drafted everybody. Now they're not gonna give up all the draft picks. We might have 2 or 3, but you give up a first round pick this year. You give up a 2026 pick for a guy like that because he's still productive. And then if you bring him in with Judon, Grady is up and down right now. Let's just be real. Grady is not 100%.
Nope.
He's
had
had flashes.
I just feel like Grady, he playing at a great level, but I feel like when you bring these other guys in, you can unlock Grady. See what I'm saying? If you bring in these other guys in, Grady can get more push up the middle because he not get so much attention to him. If you bring in Darius Smith and you got Judon coming from the other side.
It's not the push that I'm talking about. It's the fact that he ain't 100%. That's what I'm saying, because he was limping. Think about this. Physically, here's the thing. He can play. We know this. But up here in the mind, he ain't right. He not right yet. It takes at least, and we know this from Nick Chubb, it takes at least a full year, and especially with him being in the pile. It takes a full year to literally get back into that mindset of you taking those shots to that knee, because you still see him favoring that knee during plays, and offensive linemen see that. If we can see that, just think about what they can see. So I'm not throwing Grady away. I want Grady to stay here because he's still productive. That's a guy I don't mind keeping to the day he retires because we know what he can do. What I'm saying is we got to bring somebody else in to take a lot of that pressure off of him so he can still be able to play and make plays. I'm not saying that he can't get it done at all. I'm just at the point where I got to call this regime out. I know that you positive and happy-go-lucky about it, but we got to call out our own deficiencies. And you saw some of those deficiencies on Sunday without that pass rush.
Yeah.
No. I'm all in favor of giving up picks. Do what we got to do to bring in more pass rush. Do what we got to do, Terry. I know you normally cheapskate Terry and tightwad Terry, but I mean, I need you to be open to wallet generous Terry. On this stuff, we need to go get another guy to go get some sacks, man. Because I just feel like pressure from the other side unlock a lot of people, man.
And the crazy
But
part about the whole thing is this, fellas. When you look at what we have for this football team, we have a team that can compete right now.
yep,
We've seen it. We've seen it. Why not us this year? Why
yep,
not be the surprise team like Detroit was last year
yeah,
and getting as far as they did or possibly further? Why not hoist that Lombardi trophy down in New Orleans in our rival stadium? Why not
Beautiful.
make this move?
That would be beautiful.
Why not make this move? Why not us? Why not let's get this damn thing done?
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's just like this. In people's lives, and I'm gonna throw this out here. Everybody got stuff going on in their life right now. Period.
Oh yeah.
All of us do. And we might not be happy with a lot of things in our life right now. Just like a lot of them boys on the Falcons. They're not happy at their workplace right now with knowing that they have talent and they can't win games that they should be winning right now.
Mhm.
They should have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. They
Yeah.
should have beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers. They should have beaten the Seahawks last Sunday handedly. So guess what? You've got to make changes in your life to make yourself happy. Just like these boys got to make changes in their work life to become happy and to be a full, complete unit.
Yeah.
Because you can see the morale. The morale is happy. The morale is there. But the problem is this. Jimmy Lake is the problem on the
Yep.
defense. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. A lot of y'all don't want to hear me say it, but I'm gonna say it. Jimmy Lake is the problem for our defense.
I've been
His
saying it.
arrogance is what's costing us at this point. His
That's why he
arrogance
didn't last
is
in
what's
college
costing
football.
us.
That's why he didn't last in Washington. His arrogance. He's no Randy Shannon. Let's just be honest. He's no Randy Shannon. And if you look at the way that this team is built, this is not a 3-4 football team. This is either a
It's not.
4-3 or a 4-4 football team.
It's
I'll
like-
take
you're
a
not
I'll
being
take a
able
full
to-
4.
The bodies that we have on it with the way that we run a 3-4, we don't have the body mass for it to actually work. Grady
big
is
boy.
still playing his way back into football shape. Anyamata, he gets there, but again, when you're being doubled and triple teamed, that takes a lot out of you. So you can only put so much there. And then with Judon, he's being held and double team, triple team, quadruple team. So like the 3-4 is not helping those guys. You need to have that additional body where you don't have 2 and 3 guys blocking one person. And the defense in itself is just bad because why are our corners playing 7 to 8 yards off the ball? Because if I'm on the other side if I see that, I'm dinking and dunking you all day. I'm gonna force you to come up, and the minute you come up, I'm gonna go over the top of your head. So the front seven is way too light. We're way too light in the butts, and so the 4-4 or the 4-3 will be way more beneficial for the way that this team is constructed right now. We can't.
And that's the reason we're giving up. And that's the reason we're giving up a ton of rush yards at this point. Because guess what? You have 3 down linemen that's not getting no push. 3 down linemen that are not getting a push.
None.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with Coach Camp. I mean, I feel like we should be running that 4-4 or 4-3 for the personnel that we have. But I think you need to bring in one of these defensive analysts, man, to give this guy some help.
Hard.
If you, you know, I mean, I know there's coaches out there just sitting on the couch that would love to come in as defensive analysts and help Jimmy Lake out to come up with better schemes to match his personnel. No,
Here's the thing. Steve Wilkes been around the building, and that was the first thing I said was, okay, you need to have this man helping out. But again, what's killing us is the weak side. They're understanding how to run on the weak side. They understand that we're not getting no push on that side. And here's the thing. That falls on Jimmy Lake. I know everybody wants to say, well, it's Raheem. Look, Raheem Morris is allowing Jimmy Lake to run the show. That's pretty much what it is. At this point, this is on Jimmy Lake because once Jimmy Lake gets fired, then it falls on Raheem. Because at this point, you got to start leaning on Jerry Gray at this point. I've been saying this for the longest. You need to start leaning on him like yesterday. This is your first defensive coordinator job. Period.
He with Matt LaFleur
we did it wrong. Look, y'all can disagree with me. I don't give a damn. Y'all can disagree with me.
There is no disagreement.
The panel.
No.
Look, I'm gonna tell it like it is.
No, I'm
when
just
you
saying.
have first year offensive coordinators, you do not bring in a fresh guy like that is wet behind the ears. What you should have done, you should have taken Jerry Gray and made him your official defensive coordinator.
Yep.
Bring in your buddy Jimmy Lake, have Jimmy Lake as an assistant DC and learning from Jerry Gray. And here's the thing, let him come up with packages. Let him call the plays. Jerry's only going to be there pretty much, no, we're not going to do it this way. This is how we're going to do it. That's pretty much making him work and learn how to do it. You can't trust it. You can't trust it at all.
You can't with Green Bay did. You can't with Matt LaFleur did.
Thank you.
that I said last week, honestly. The thing about Jimmy Lake, right? He only lasted at Washington University for 6 games before he was fired.
Dang.
There was a man by the name of Brian Flores that was available prior to him going to Minnesota. Him and Raheem have a very close relationship. There was no phone call made to Brian Flores. And if we look at Brian Flores right now and where Minnesota is at, that defense is the top 10 defense in this league. And that is the strength of that team right now. Jimmy Lake does not have the necessary credentials to be running the defense on his own. No. So to Ryan's credit, Coach Gray should have more say-so, and he should be way more hands-on with the play calling than Jimmy Lake is, because, again, he exposes the weakness of our players week in and week out. And there's so much tape on it, it's teams are able to pick us apart. If you watch the game last week, Geno Smith picked this team apart.
He looked like a Hall of Famer.
He literally looked like Randall Cunningham 2.0.
He did it to him again. He did it to him the last time. When he was freaking with the Jets.
Hold up. I told you I got time today, so I'm going to address this one right here. Ain't no odds, nothing. No.
Go ahead.
No,
don't even start it. No, it's just for real.
Get his ass.
Raheem pretty much brought in Jimmy Lake. Here's the issue. You have Jerry Gray in the building. The problem is this. Your defensive coordinator doesn't want to listen to anybody else. That is not on Raheem. That is on your arrogant DC. You have over 30 years worth of experience in that building with Jerry Gray, who literally molded this defense. He let Ryan Nielsen make the calls. But guess what? Ryan Nielsen was smart enough to listen to Jerry Gray. Jimmy Lake, they have a great working relationship, but if you ever look at it, think about it. When do you ever hear him say that he leans on Jerry Gray? When do you ever hear him say that he ever takes advice from what he has in there? That's not on Raheem. That's a personal thing right there between them and their workplace. So you don't have to buy it. But I'm just going to look, you don't have to buy what I'm selling. I'm fine with that. But I got other folks that's buying it, and they understand that part of it. I'm going to give you this. If you've ever been in a locker room before, whether you played high school, college, semi-pro, and it's not just William, it's people in general, you have to understand how that structure works. Jerry Gray is the respected one in that locker room right now. Understand that. That's the respected one because he's earned the stripes last year. That is who you lean on. When you talk about Jimmy Lake coming in, he's the new kid on the block. He has to establish himself. And what that means is you're going to listen to the guy that's been here already, that knows this team inside and out, that knows his players' strengths and their weaknesses. This is on Jimmy Lake. Jerry Gray's right there trying to help. Think about it.
DB, solid, man.
Because when some things, look at the DBs. I'm not even the biggest AJ Terrell fan, but it's been an improvement from last year. He had a bad game, a horrible game last week. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But let's be real. AJ's playing better. Jimmy Lake has that secondary as the best unit on this team. Let's be real. Everybody's not clicking. The only thing that's solid is the secondary at this point. So all I'm saying is this. Raheem has to have a conversation because that goes into the topic that I'm saying. it goes into the topic that we have of, and we weren't supposed to go ahead, but you know what? Tonight, one of them nights, dog. It's just what it is at this point.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Raheem Morris has to put pressure on Jimmy Lake to fix this defense.
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting to get to this topic, but we're here now. So let's go ahead and address this. We have to get off the field on third downs.
Yeah.
We have to pressure the quarterback.
Yeah.
But guess what we need to start seeing more of? You need to start blitzing your safeties a little bit more. You got to start mixing up your blitzes with your corners and your linebackers. Guess what? That falls on Jimmy Lake. That is not Raheem Morris. Raheem's job is to manage everything. Jimmy Lake's job is to put guys in position to make plays. So understand, these are assistant coaches' jobs for a reason. So, fellas, how do you guys feel about that? I apologize about that, but I just needed to get that off my chest.
No, you good. That's something that me and K-Dub said last week.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that I've taken away, because again, I didn't see Sunday's game. That had to be a dad. So the one thing that I've been saying that me and K-Dub we both live on. Why are we not mixing up our blitz coverages? You have Caden Ellis, you have Troy Anderson, you have Landman. Use those guys in the blitz package. Mix it up. Show something different. The defensive play calling is so vanilla. I'm not an offensive guy. I've always been a defensive coordinator, even when I coached high school football. I coach defense. If I'm looking at the Atlanta Falcons defense and I'm not an offensive guy, I promise you, I'm going at the weakest link, which is your linebackers. I'm going at your linebacker court. Our linebackers just sit and they get sucked into so many unnecessary blocks that it opens up holes for everybody else, and everyone somehow finds to get behind them consistently. You need to start to mix up your blitz packages, and you need to change your front. You need to move them around. Like Baltimore used to do this all the time. Also Pittsburgh. Move your linebackers. Make it look like it's going to be a blitz coming. Just make it walk around. Have them move up and down. It don't have to be a blitz. Just show it. Make them think. We're not having offenses reacting up to what our defense is doing. Our defense is reacting to the offense, and we're losing 90% of the time. Yeah. We know we don't have a good pass rush. So we have to generate one. We have to find it where it comes. Justin Simmons is one of the best blitzing safeties in the league. Why are we not using him? So again, this falls on Jimmy Lake. He's the one calling the plays. I've said it last week and I said it the week before. If this man does not figure out how to generate a blitz package or anything else, he gotta go. Dude. And I don't want to give up on coach, and I'm not. And I love him to death because it's a black man who got opportunity. But guess what? If the opportunity is too big for you, you need to step aside and give it to somebody who can fill those shoes. Plain and simple.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel. I'll go ahead, Greg.
No, go ahead, K-Dub.
Okay, no, I was just gonna say I didn't want to rain on Coach Cam Parade, but I mean I feel him, I really do, but I just feel like just give him a chance. Like now, if he goes out there and we lose this division, yeah, everything you said and 1,000% and more, but right now we're still in the driver's seat, and if he goes out there and we go out there and kick butt on Sunday. Then I feel like Jimmy Lake, hey, look, we're still learning this team, learning your personnel, learning how to call plays on an NFL level. I feel like Coach Raheem could have went in a different direction in both coordinators, in offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. He could have went with the youth, not youth, but I mean with experience. I meant to say I didn't say youth because he went with youth, but experience.
He can
and guys that been doing it for a long time. But I felt like he went with his gut and guys that he really worked well with. I don't know if you could want to say yes men, but it's kind of like he getting the feel of like one of the yes men guys. He worked well with them, but they may tell him what he wants to hear. But I just feel like sometimes you got to have people around that challenge you a little bit, so it'll make you a better and greater coach and leader. So
And again, I
Well,
100%
we
agree
know
with you on
that.
that.
Well,
But
we
I'll
know
ask you
that
this question.
firsthand.
I'll ask you this question, K Dub. We're currently 4-3,
4-3.
4-3,
yeah,
right? With
yeah.
the way that the division is set up for us to win, we have the ability to host a playoff game. Do you continue to wait for Jimmy Lake to catch up to the defense that he has, or do you make a change so that you can continue to move forward, so that you can gain momentum as the season starts to draw to a close? We can't continue to wait for this man. We just can't,
No, 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 no.
because
I'm
we're in
not.
a perfect position to be in the playoffs. And
Because
I'm trying to go there. We haven't
It
sniffed the playoffs since
it
2017.
it
here's the
ain't
thing.
just it ain't just going. It's
If,
hosting a home game for the playoffs.
if
Yeah,
Raheem
but
don't
we
make the
don't.
change,
But I'm in
Arthur
the.
Blank will make the change.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but the key thing is with us is if you really paid attention to ever since we moved into the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I love going there, all fun and games. Don't get me wrong, it's a great, outstanding, beautiful stadium they built, but the record in there for us winning is
It's
not good.
horrible.
We play better on the road. I would rather be start on the road in the playoffs. I mean, I'm just being honest.
We can't always rely on that. We
And
can't.
we won at home, at home this year. So I can't say that. But I get where you
I
coming
said,
from with
no,
the record. No, I know
that's
you
my
saying at
overall.
home.
Yeah,
No, I get
overall
what you're
record at
saying at
home
home, but
since we
here's the
moved.
thing. We need to be able to win wherever we step foot at. It don't matter.
And we need to be.
You either gonna, as we say up in here, you either gonna get right or you gonna get left. That's pretty much what it is. Because I'm at this point. Jimmy Lake, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't give a damn how everybody feel about it. I'm just gonna be honest.
Here we go.
You need to get your stuff right, or you gonna get your ass left. Because at the end of the day, you got a team full of veterans that are Pro Bowlers, that have been team captains, that have been in playoff games. You have experience on this team. You need to get out of your own way and stop trying to be the smartest guy in the room and start leaning on the experience. Because here's the thing. You can't be great in a leadership position if the people around you don't make you great. And what I mean by making you great, I'm talking about pushing you, challenging you, and pretty much putting you in a position to where you're not just compromising, you're allowing people to have that hand in. Not just having a hand in it, really teaching you some stuff too. Because you're a first-time coordinator, Bubba, and he brought you in because you his partner. I'm going to tell you right now, at this point, I'm fine with a middle of the season demotion. I don't care. I'd rather win. I don't care about a friendship. I don't care about all of that. It's about you either going to get the job done or you not. Y'all could be friends at the end of the day, but let's be honest. You're not going to have too many more stops after Atlanta. Everybody knows this. Once Atlanta is the halfway house to retirement for right now until we start winning. Period. You don't have many stops after Atlanta. Just like back in the day when they used to tell you, if you went to the Oakland Raiders back in the day, you didn't have many places to go after because they were the halfway house in the NFL, but they was kicking ass back in the day. That was just what it was. The Falcons don't have a culture of doing that. So guess what? You get up out of here and you don't succeed, it is not going to be too many more places you go. Not as a head coach.
The motion don't happen. You look at back at 2015 when Dan Quinn took over the defense and we went on that historical run. Who was our defensive coordinator? The linebacker coach from Denver, right? After that Kansas City game, he got out the paint real quick, and we started winning, and our defense started getting better, and we got to the Super Bowl. So don't take a demotion out of the picture because it can and will happen.
Absolutely, because here's the thing. I don't lost my train of thought.
Well, while you remembering that, we're going to move to this next topic. So, safety play has to improve. If you remember it, you come back to it. I don't have a problem with it. But safety play has to improve because this is the strong suit of our defense.
Yes.
Safeties. And speaking of safeties, there could be a move for a former defensive starter right now, whether you guys know it or not.
It ain't who I think it is.
Guess who might be leaving? Sports Illustrated reported this. and I'll pull it up for you.
Yeah, as long as Richie go, I'll be happy.
Oh, here we go. Richie.
Don't you do that. Don't you do that. Don't you do that.
It's okay. He can do Richie all he wants, because guess what? That's the player that might be going.
That's what I'm saying. As long as he go, that makes
Where
me
you
happy.
going?
So at the end of the day, it's just like this, man. He's pretty much they're already talking about it. He's only had 19 snaps in 7 games. So here's the thing. And I'm pulling this up for you guys because I read this a little while before the show or whatnot. This is on Sports Illustrated if you guys want to check. Here's the thing. Rinaldi pretty much reported he's a candidate for all 32 teams. There are some teams that are looking to move in with him because he's in the final year of his rookie contract and he'll be an unrestricted free agent in March. But the Falcons could easily trade him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Grant's only posted 4 tackles this year with 1 pass deflection, but he's barely on defense, but he's lined up on 151 snaps in special teams. So think about it. He's got 32 games under his belt. At this point in his career, Grant could possibly be a journeyman. Unless he finds a home to where he can just roost and he can just spread his wings.
It can happen.
And there's many teams that need a safety. He just might not fit what we're doing right now. So at this point, you know where there's smoke, there's fire.
It ain't the first time he's been on the block, too.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we trying to get pass rush. I give up Richie for some pass rush.
And that's why I'm saying it's a possibility that we might have to come up off of him because we still have DeMarco Hellams coming back soon. Yes. Now, we don't know how he's going to play, but you have to remember that he's had time to sit. He's just got to get back in football shape. That's it. Line him up on special teams and let him go blast folks. Put him in certain packages so he can get his feet back up under him. But again, you got a sure tackler in Hellams, and we need a sure tackler on the defense right now because we apparently have forgotten the fundamentals on how to tackle.
Not only a surefire tackler, he's a spark. Because if everyone remembers what happened last year against the Aints, what happened?
Blasted folk.
Blasted him. And the defense, and I think that's what clicked for the defense was to have that one guy to come in and lay the boom to wake everybody else up. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'll take it because
you need that.
Even because they started like penalizing people for tackling around the hip and you can't put your body weight on them.
The drop tackle. That's what it's called.
That's totally different. That was what actually tackling.
That was what dislocated Chris Godwin's ankle the other night. Roquan Smith drop tackled him. And you got to understand, it's at a point where defensive players are being hamstrung, period. Defensive players are being hamstrung. When they tried, I mean, I get they're trying to have people that's safe. I mean, people are going to be safe. But you have to also understand this here. Football is a collision sport, ladies and gentlemen. It is a collision sport. It is a violent sport. No matter what you do to try to make the game safer, it's always going to be a violent sport. Let's be real. It's more concussions in soccer than it is in football. You can check the metrics on that. Soccer has the most concussions.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. My bad. I was just saying. Here's the thing, though. Football will never be safe. And the fact that we don't see so many injuries now within the past, 4 or 5 seasons, and we don't see back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, it's just ridiculous. I'm like, great day. I mean, we get like 2 during the season-ending injuries a weekend now. And it just I haven't seen this many injuries. And I've been watching football for well over 20 years. The amount of injuries that we've seen.
It's all about the money.
You know where that comes from.
I mean, these guys
lack of practice.
Yes, the player safety initiative.
What you got, K-Dog?
No, I was just saying, I was just going to harp on saying these guys are a lot. When I played, they're a lot faster, stronger, all that, man, right now. Everybody on all these different supplement. We didn't have all this stuff, man. This stuff, these boys is on everything right now. So
What we had with
these
that
guys,
Georgia Heat.
these guys. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it's a different athlete. They may be spoiled, but it's a different athlete.
It's a different time.
I put
it's
it
a
this
different
way,
time for sure.
when
But
you
we all
have
have to understand when the league tells you that you can only practice 2 or 3 days. When in the past they was practicing almost every single day, maybe a day off. The body does not do well with that, because if you go hard one day, you have rest, you come back, do it again, you rest, you do it again, you're not building up your body to take that kind of punishment. And then on top of that, most of those practices you can't even be padded up now, so you're pretty much just out there jogging and doing conditioning. When the game comes and you putting on a full 60-minute football game, wearing your pads and getting hit, being pulled down the whole nine, the body is not conditioned for all of that over a 18 game season. The body's not built for that, especially when you take it away during the week.
Yep.
Then you add on the playoffs on top of that.
Exactly. So you're playing
But then-
22 games in a year?
Yeah, 23.
But here's the thing, though. I think the best thing is they would say it's these owners that are more concerned about losing a star player at that point. It's all about the money. Because if you look at it, the great Walter Payton said it just like this here. When he was at Jackson State, he said, we scrimmaged Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's after they went over their plays and did all that. They scrimmaged every day. Every day. And when he got to the NFL, it was the same thing. They scrimmaged. So when you took that out, you're building a generation of softer players. I'll say it. I don't give a damn. Yes, they're bigger. Yes, they're faster, but they are not tougher. I'm sorry. They are not tough.
I never said it was tough.
Oh, I know you didn't. I'm saying that you didn't. But you also got to look at the type of players that we grew up watching. And even the players that we watched grew up watching the players in the generation before them. Think about it. You go back to when the NFL first started as a pretty much as a barnstorming league before it became official. And even when it became official, you had farmers running the barnstorming league and people that worked in factories. Then you move up to when it's a little bit more polished, pretty much the war heroes, your war veterans who fought. And they went to college on the GI Bill because they fought for the country. So a lot of those veterans that you talk about that served in Korea and Vietnam and all these places, they had plenty of fight left in them. So it was easy to play in a football game compared to dealing with life and death. And then you get to the 80s where most of the players that played in the 80s were kids of the Depression kids or kids of those war veterans that we're talking about. And you got to think about it. The economy wasn't the way that it was. So you had a tougher football player. Even in the 90s, you had a tougher football player. Everything started to change pretty much, I say mid-2000s. That's when it started to change.
When they holdout, when they start holding out for more and more and more money, and the owner was like, okay, we got you. I mean, because I remember, I was just going to say, I remember when preseason used to be 5 and 6 games.
Yep.
Not
and
3.
We used to actually get to see the starters play a full game in the preseason.
That was 3.
Not 3. It used to be
4. Remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, a lot of guys played through injuries because they didn't want to lose their spot to another person. They fought through concussions. They played. There was the left guard for the Cincinnati Bengals. His name was
Anthony Munoz.
Anthony Munoz.
He played with a broken ankle for 12 games.
How you do that?
How do you do that? And
hey, Jack Youngblood played in the Super Bowl with a broke leg, just like Alex Mack did, who we had. So again, when you look at it, it depends on how the player is. If you're not conditioned, here's the thing. Football is a game of pain. You condition yourself for it. If you're not willing to condition yourself for the pain, you can run all day. You can get all your abs and you can get all the neck muscles. You can get all you can look like a mannequin at a damn science convention. You can. But at the same time, if you're not, I think Joe Frazier said it the best. Rest in peace to Smoking Joe. Whatever you do he said, whatever you do under pretty much in the shadows of the dark, under the cloak of darkness, it comes out when you're in the lights. So if you're not physically prepared, it's going to show
every time.
Why do you think they called him a truth? They nicknamed him outside of Smoking Joe. They called him a truth machine for a reason. Because guess what? If your conditioning wasn't there, it would show. Because he never got tired.
Go back to the Thriller in Manila.
Dragon, face swollen, and was still literally fighting off instinct. So again, you're not gonna have players like that no more. But getting back to the modern day folks, I'm sorry, we had to have a little history lesson.
Good convocation.
Let's talk about it, man. We got the game matchups coming up. Exploited matchups between the Birds and Tampa Bay. Well, we already know the obvious matchup, the wide receiver core.
I ain't even going with that one. I'm going with our defensive line against their offensive line, and our offensive line against their defensive line. Can we keep Vita Vea at bay? Or at least try to. Can we
keep Baker Mayfield from running?
That's another thing. Containment. I mean, that's going to be the key matchup. Wide receiver wise, I trust Jerry Gray among anything. I'm worried about the front and our linebacking core. That's the matchup.
My matchup is I'm looking at that. I'm challenging that secondary, like we said. Like, we were talking about the safeties, man. I want y'all boys to go out there and go turn Baker Mayfield over. He's good for about 2-3 picks this game. Seal the division. That's what's on my mind, man. Seal this thing, man. Put this thing out of reach. Put it out of reach.
Go ahead, Cam.
I'm going complete opposite from everybody. Our offensive coordinator.
Ooh.
Can he actually have a balanced game? Can he get the running game off the ground consistently before we see our quarterback, Kirko Chains, throw the ball way too many times? It's the long season. I don't want to continue to see Kirko throwing 30, 40 passes in the game. No. There should be an even split between Tyler Allgier and Bijan. That is the heart and soul of this team. We all know it. So we need to get those guys incorporated early and often in this game. Because if we can keep Vita Vea from feeding and get him tired, he's not going to pass rush Kirko. He's just not going to be able to do it. Can our offensive coordinator call an actual smart game this Sunday where it features a run game heavily? We have to keep the defense off the field, and two, we have to get that front seven of them tired out because they are going to generate a pass rush because our offensive line, they get beat up pretty often.
Well, all I'm gonna say is this, man. The blood pressure Birds are gonna strike again.
Yeah, I got my blood medicine.
Blood pressure Birds are gonna strike again.
Glad I got mine.
And the reason I say the blood pressure Birds are gonna strike again is because here's the thing. We didn't play a complete game. I said 7 weeks. Everybody looked bad in week 7.
Oh yeah.
Everybody looked bad. So now you got week 8. And I said the latest is week 8. Your division, pretty much the division is on you. Let's just be real. We have the same identical record as Tampa at this point. Right now, we have the head-to-head win. You win this game, you're pretty much in the driver's seat for the rest of the season for the division because you've already swept one team. If you sweep at least 2 teams, you got the division won.
Division won.
The division is won. Now, I'd like to sweep all 3.
All
3.
That's the goal.
Yeah, man. Make it.
But
official.
but I'm gonna just. I got to be realistic. We were supposed to win last week. I can't trust this team to do it because we have yet to see a complete game. We're finding ways to win, but we have to get better and be efficient at winning. Because when you play a team like a Minnesota or you play a team like a Detroit or a Green Bay, guess what? You got to be clicking on all cylinders because if you're not, they're going to boat race you. Dallas found that out the hard way.
We got to control the clock then, if that's the case. Yeah, they found that out.
Even if you control the clock, they still can strike fast. That's why I'm saying you have to be on all cylinders because guess what? We get Minnesota later this season.
Damn,
Yeah.
We get those boys.
Wallace, understand this, bro. Understand this, Wallace. I didn't say run the ball heavily. I didn't say that.
Okay,
I said
balance.
the game needs to be balanced. Understand that. Balance. There needs to be a balance and a consistency there. You have your hammer and Tyler Allgier. You got your speed guy in Bijan. If we're going to win this game, because we know Tampa Bay has a great front seven, and I'm not taking anything away from them. I'm still going to respect them for who they are, even though Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are gone. That defense is still there, and it's all intact. So the best way for us to have a balanced game is to control the clock and keep that defense at bay. And the best way to keep a defense at bay, especially a good pass rush, you run the damn ball.
Can I jump? I'm gonna jump in on this one. I ain't even asking. I'm just jumping in on this one. I'm gonna tell you like this here. The mismanagement of Tyler Allgier has been utterly atrocious. The mismanagement of Tyler Allgier. Tyler is averaging 4.9 yards a carry, damn near 5 yards a touch, and you're barely using him because you are so enamored with you want to force feed your first round pick. This is my thing. If you don't want him in your offense, get rid of him. Stop letting a talented player like that sit. Yeah, I'm playing devil's advocate. Y'all gonna be pissed at me, but today I got time today. I got pepper in my blood today, so y'all gonna have to work with me. So it is what it is. I'm like this. I want Tyler to run for us, but here's my thing. If you don't want him here, you don't want to use him, why the hell do you have him still? Why the hell do you have him here still? That man is coming up on contract soon. He can start looking for places to go at this point. And the last thing you want him to do is go to another NFC team that we would have to see, or a team that you see down the road in the playoffs. That's the last thing you want. Because I can tell you right now, the Dallas Cowboys will take this kid in a heartbeat. They need a running back. They'll take him in a heartbeat.
I just don't feel like
I'm just saying.
Carolina need a running back.
We don't let them get out the door.
Tampa need a running back.
But here's the thing: you saying we don't let him get out the door? But why? But why wouldn't he? He can go after this year because he's a rookie. He can actually do it on his own. He don't have to wait for us.
I know. I understand that. What you're saying. I mean, I feel what you're saying. I love Mr. Tyler out there, but I just don't feel like we're gonna let him get out the door. We don't really truly. We can just on the outside looking in think how he feels, but I think. We don't really know how he truly feels. He might feel like they're using him properly. Because I feel like if he gets the ball that more times, his average wouldn't be 4.9. Maybe it could drop down because he's getting more carries and get hit more. We don't know.
Doug, I want to ask you a serious question.
No,
Cam, no. I want to ask K-Dub a serious question about this. What running back do you know that is a bell cow type of running back is happy with getting 2 to 3 touches a game? And Tyler is a rhythm guy.
That was about to be my question for him.
No, I'm not saying he was.
No. You say he might be happy with that, but I want you to really be honest with me, dog.
Let me ask you a question.
Fan glasses off for a second. Answer that one.
No, I ain't. I'm being very honest with you. I'm not saying he's happy with the carry. I said his situation here in Atlanta. I never said he was happy with carries that he was getting. Of course, he could be getting used more properly. I'm saying, is he happy with his situation here in Atlanta?
No.
Because think about it.
No, because
You
they're
go
not
from a
using them.
1,000-yard
How can
rookie
you?
season. You go from a 1,000-yard rookie season. You get demoted last year to the backup, and then this year you're barely featured. Like you're getting 3 to 4 carries a game. The first couple of games, he didn't even see the
You're getting
field.
iced out.
You're being iced out. So why would I want to stay? Why would I stay? When I can be featured somewhere like Dallas, who I know they need a bell cow. I can go to Tampa, who needs a bell cow. They have a defense and they have another quarterback. They have receivers. I'm going to fit in that offense perfectly.
We already know
You
Cam.
don't get iced out and say, hey, I want to stay.
But here's the thing. We already know what this is. It's just, I mean, this is something that we've been talking about because this is one of the topics that we didn't get to because we passed on it. But this is the perfect time to talk about it because this is a part of the matchups. Let's be real on this. Tyler is being underutilized in this offense.
Of course.
There's no way around that. There's no way around it. You can dress it up. I say it like the old folks. You can put lipstick on a pig and it's still a pig, and it's still ugly and it still stank. It's just what it is. At this point, Tyler Allgier is being underutilized, and literally, he's not going to say it because that's not his nature, but just know it's going to come out eventually. Because when you have a guy that is a workhorse, that is a guy that gets stronger as the game goes on, but you're force feeding Bijan because Bijan is a first round pick. Let's be real on this. Bijan is a guy that needs space to operate. Bijan needs a fullback in front of him. Tyler don't need a fullback in front of him. Tyler is a guy that can play in the single backfield and do what he does. Tyler's a traditional running back, but people forget that he was a linebacker in college. So again, he's built for contact. He is built for contact. And if you're not going to use him in the red zone, if you're not going to use him on the field, use him in the damn red zone. At least if you're going to use him. Help him keep his touchdown average up. But if you're not going to use him, don't let him sit. Let him go. If you don't want him, let him go. Because you're going to waste the spot on this roster because you want Bijan to be the guy because he was a first-round pick. I still stand on this to this day. I wish we would have taken Jalen Carter instead of Bijan Robinson. I stand on it. We didn't need another running back. We had what we needed. Now, a lot of people are enamored with the splash plays, but my thing is this. I'm enamored with winning. I don't give a damn about the splash plays. It's nice for the highlights so you can talk trash, but let's be real. Anytime you get in the conversation to talk trash about winning, every Falcon fan shut the hell up. They do. Anytime you hear somebody say, well, where your trophies at? Or what games have you won? How many division titles do you have? When you get into the depth of a conversation, we shut the hell up. Because we have nothing to say because guess what? We don't produce because of that type of ignorance in the coaching profession. We don't have a smart coordinator that realizes we got a diamond at this position and had one. So at this point, I'm just like, hey, it is what it is, man.
I about to pack a collection plate because you just did a whole sermon right there. Amen.
It's sickening at this point because even Sports Illustrated said it. Daniel Flick, one of the guys on the show who covers the team, said Tyler Allgier is even being underutilized. Now, it's bad when you have writers saying it. It's bad when you have NFL analysts that are on NFL Network saying it. Former players are saying it. Now, no one's going to say it here because we want to, oh, no. It's fine, Bijan. No, hell no. It's a problem.
We have there's one of the biggest Falcon headers out there, Jonathan Vilma. Jonathan Vilma, and I quote, why the hell was 25 sitting on the sideline when he should be in the game?
On a 4th and 1, you're gonna run Bijan up the gut. We've seen I can give you five fourth downs that we've had this year, and Bijan's been stuffed on 4th and 1. Kansas City, he had 2 in that game. He had 1 in the Pittsburgh game. He had 1 in the New Orleans game, and he had 1 in the Tampa Bay game that we won in overtime.
Don't forget Philly.
And Philly. So that's 6. Here's the thing. People don't like hitting number 25.
Nope.
They don't. That's a business decision. Now, what did we just talk about just now? We talked about guys not being conditioned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it. We said you got to be able to hit on every play every day to be conditioned for that.
Tired people don't like getting
25
hit.
is a bully. I'm gonna tell you right now. I love contact. It don't bother me. But at a certain point in that ball game, I'm gonna get tired of hitting him, and I'm going to try to tackle him. But I know I'm going to be tired because guess what? I'm running after receivers. I'm just speaking on the safety spot, pretty much the last level. I'm running after receivers. I gotta come downhill after I get off a block, and you got that 240 pounds, and he ain't going sideways. He's
Nope.
coming straight ahead.
North and south.
And y'all
Yeah.
can look at me, y'all can look at me crazy if you want to. I'm gonna say something that's kind of out of pocket a little bit. There's a Hall of Fame player that wore 34 by the name of Sweetness.
Preach.
Sweetness was known for finishing his runs. Sweetness
he
didn't
loved
shy away from contact.
Uh-uh.
Sweetness looked for people to hit.
And
When
he
you
was
look at
undersized.
Tyler Allgier, Tyler Allgier is not a east-west runner. He's north and south. Once he pick up steam,
Yeah.
he's looking who's getting hit. He makes contact. If that person don't take him down, now he got a smile on his face. Oh, I'm about to hit somebody else. And now I'm gonna drag you with me because you're not big enough to take me down. You're not strong. You little to me. If you continuously get hit like that, it's a mental thing at this point because now when you see him, I want to hit this dude. I don't want to hit him. I'm gonna try to arm tackle him. I'm not gonna try to put my body into it, and Tyler's gonna run through those. Once that man pick up steam, it's hard to take him down.
Tired
And
people
am I
don't tackle.
saying Tyler Allgier is the next coming of Sweetness? No, I'm not. But the way that he runs with his pads at pad level and the way that he attacks the hole when he sees it, it's 3, 4, 5 yards upfield before this man is tackled. Bijan likes to dance in the backfield before he moves. He's no Le'Veon Bell. He's no LaDainian Tomlinson. You want to consistently have positive yardage when you're running the football. Tyler Allgier gives you that consistently. You don't see him falling backwards. He's always falling forward.
Can I be honest with you? If I got to compare him to somebody, he's John Riggins without speed. I know we compare him to William Andrews because he broke the record and he runs through people. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I say this. William had a little bit more wiggle than Tyler Allgier. If you go back and look at it, William hurdled people. William could actually give you a move or two before he explode into you. John Riggins, faster. North and south. Riggins just had more speed. And if you look at Allgier runs like the legendary John Riggins. Put it this way. Joe Theismann talked about it. He said, you didn't hurt Riggins. Riggins hurt you. Riggins delivered lumber. Guys cheap shot. Think about it. Guys cheap shotted him all the time. It was some guys who hit him fairly, some guys who didn't. Riggins didn't say anything. Riggins would run at you, and he described his running style like this. He said, my running style is, he said, I'm a farm boy. He said, my running style is like that one cow. When you sit back, he said, if you ever notice that one cow's off to himself and he's by himself away from the pack, but if you corner him, he's going to do everything he can to get out of that corner. And it is not always going to be pretty. And if you take away his space, he's going to make space. So when you look at Allgier, that is his running style. If you decide to take away space, he's going to make his own. So for me, at this point, you run the ball, but you got to start running Allgier a lot more than what you're doing, because at this time you can't play him against bad teams the way that you did against Carolina. You got to play him against the good teams and where their defense is down, and then you let Bijan. It's like you can split those carries between those two. Yep. You can do that. So I mean, in the same passing system that we run, again, it's crazy to think about it, but you can run out of this.
Yep.
I mean, we did it with Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm
But
saying.
guess what? The beauty of having a stout run game, it gives your offensive line confidence to pass rush. Because I've been beating you up front all game. Now it's 1-on-1. Try me. I've been beating you up already. You tired. Now I can tee off. Now I can really tee off on you the way I want to. So
K-Dub, what you got, man? Because I saw you was trying to creep in there with that one.
No, I mean, I'm just stay back, man. Y'all done touched on everything. I'm in the I'm out of pocket tonight. I see, so I'm gonna lay
No,
back
you weren't.
in the
No, you weren't
sky.
out. No, you weren't out of pocket. No, you weren't out of pocket at all. The thing is, there are some fans that have. There's some fans that believe that too. We've seen that on other shows. It's fans that believe that the system is good the way it is. But I'm just gonna be honest with you.
No, I didn't. I don't feel like it's good because I be reiterating show after show after show. You lead out with Tyler Allgier, and then you bring in Bijan. I mean, I've been saying that for the longest. I'm just. I mean, but the key thing is Zach Robinson needs to understand that. Zach Robinson needs to go call them plays. Like I said, the key thing is use the guys. I say go with the hot hand. That's the key thing. When the game is on the line and you got those guys in, you're rolling them in. When you're rolling them in, just run it. Let them goddamn tell you they will tap the helmet. When they tap the helmet,
I'll let you know.
It's like
But
it's
it's
like
all
tag
about,
team.
man.
It's like tag team wrestling. If them guys, both of them guys talk to each other, I'm in there. When I get tired, man, you got to be honest with yourself. Hit the helmet, I'm coming in. The cavalry coming. That's it. And let them dictate what for us how many carries I'm getting. Hey man, I'm tired. I need a breather right now. They hit me a little bit. That's it.
But here's the thing, John. I'm gonna tell you this here. Now you know Walter Payton is my idol. That's the reason I played. If I probably wouldn't have been a Falcons fan and been born around Atlanta and had the Falcons, inherited the Falcons, I would have been probably a Bears fan because of Walter Payton. That's my idol. I'm gonna tell you this here. Walter ran a lot out of the I formation and the split back formation in Chicago. They never ran out of a pistol formation like we're doing right now. So that's the reason why he always had a lead blocker. And the system that they ran, their tight end was a heavy blocker. When you look at Emory Moorhead, you look at John Latta, who was his tight end. I mean, he had Reeve Sori blocking for him. He had a great offensive a great offensive guard and Noah Jackson. So when you look at it, they had a line. I mean, when he first got to the league, he was in trouble. He literally was their offense, and they had to have a line because they didn't have a good quarterback. Hell, Doug Plank talked about it when we did the interview with him. He talked about how competitive Walter was. He talked about how strong he was. He talked about Walter had to run to survive. That was the difference. So they had to put guys in front of him, and the system that we run is totally different than what they're running. Now, we go back to the old school I formation, split back formation, then you have to have a fullback. Mm-hmm. Because if you remember when we had Patrick DeMarco in the fullback spot, we ran out of the single, we ran out of the I formation, we ran out of the split back formation where we had a fullback. I get where you're coming from, but John, the way that this offense is set up and the way that they are doing it, they don't have a fullback. Nope. Now, if this was Shanahan, we would have a fullback. I agree.
Look at Wycheck.
Thank you. We don't have a fullback because, again, Zach Robinson is in a spot to where he's running the things the way he wants to run them. And this is why I said we needed to have an old school coach that was overseeing this. But you live and you learn. This is what happens when you get a coach that's in here that is that's just on some BS. But shout out to John and the eye test. Those guys do a damn good job. You catch them on Wednesdays late at night. Sometimes sometimes they might be on a Thursday and Friday. They up at 12 o'clock at night, Waffle House hours, pretty much the club hours. So shout out to the eye test and those guys over there, C Double, Winston, Ron, and all those guys that are over there. So many to name, man. It's just it's ridiculous. But they have so many great episodes that they have that you can catch if you having a midnight snack. You definitely can have some great content with those guys. Let's go ahead and get to the X factors of this ball game because we're a little over, but it is what it is.
X Factor. Whew, Lord. X Factor got to be this linebacking core, man. For me on the defensive side, they got to contain Baker Mayfield. They got to make him one-dimensional and don't let him be elusive and be able to freaking create plays and whatnot, make us look stupid. And on the offensive side, the TB show. The TB show is going to be whether or not we win this football game. Tyler Allgier and Bijan Robinson. That's all.
Well,
K-Dub, what you got?
Well, my offensive X factor will be Kurt Cobain at quarterback, and then on the defensive side, both of the safeties and the safety play because they challenge themselves, and I'm just hoping that they can step up to the plate and make plays.
Cam?
Defensive X factor is going to be AJ Terrell. He's going to be playing a lot of guys that are coming off the practice squad. This is where he cements himself as a shutdown corner. This is where he takes one half of the field away. You force Baker to do things that he's not comfortable with. Offensive X factor, Zach Robinson. You need to call a complete game this Sunday. I'm sticking with that all the way through.
My X factors for this game, I got to go ahead and say offensively, I got to go with my offensive line because they didn't protect Kirk last week. Kirk looked like a bumbling Clark Kent last week and did not look like Superman swag surfing. I can tell you right now that it's one of those things where you got to sit back and say, okay, we need to have great pass protection against this team. We let Seattle eat against us.
Eat well.
So that's got to change. So my offensive line is going to be my X factor for the offense because we also need to be able to run the football against this team as well. Now, defensively, I'm going to have to say I'm going to have to go with my safeties. I got to go with my safeties because they played horrible last week. They played horrible. Bankhead Bates, SWAT Dog Simmons, I'm going to tell you right now, y'all boys look like trash. I can't even give you the nickname SWAT Dog because you make my side of town look bad. I can't even call you SWAT Dog. You pretty much look like a neutered pup last week.
Oh man, don't do him like that.
Hell nah, he got to take this work. It's just what it is. Nah, Kirk Cousins looked like a bumbling Clark Kent. SWAT Dog looked like a neutered pup. And then you got Bankhead Bates or whatever. He literally looked like Bankhead Colts after it was towed down.
Oh, not at the checker. Oh.
I'm at that point. I'm at that point because let's just be real, man. Huh?
And I just said they went out there to Seattle lightly. Seattle wanted that game more than us, man. When they got up on us early, man, we took the running game up out of it, and it just snowballed.
As I said before, my safeties have to be the X factor on this defense because linebacker play is inconsistent. So guess what? We need somebody. We got 2 veteran Pro Bowl safeties in the back. 2. They have to get it together.
Yeah.
I
think they don't trust each other just yet. You know what I mean? I don't think they're quite. I think they don't quite have that.
Simmons is still learning that playbook.
Yeah, I don't think they have that full mental telepathy. Like I know where you're going to be at on certain. Like you know what I mean? Like I can't really word it, but I feel like y'all know what I'm trying to say.
I agree.
I ain't worried about the uniforms. The uniforms ain't the reason why we've been playing bad. It's the fact that our damn coaches screwed us up and the doggone players literally overlooked Seattle last week. We could have literally beat them boys at least by 2 or 3 touchdowns. because they weren't supposed to get up on us like that. They were
Well,
not
you-
supposed to get up on us like that. But guess what?
you-
It's a whole new week. We
Whole
going
new
to
week.
Tampa. Now, here's the thing we can't do. Tampa has to understand. We have to understand this. The Bucs are playing for their community right now. They're still recovering from that hurricane. And guess what? The only thing that's keeping that city together right now is really the
That
Bucs.
football team.
USF is not that good right now. They've fallen off. And now you have the Bucs that literally, if they beat us, they're back in the driver's seat for the division.
Oh yeah.
And we got to win both of those doggone games.
Yeah.
New Orleans.
my
and
thing is
Texas Carolina.
My thing is if we handle business this week, we're good. Because New Orleans ain't winning this division, and neither is Carolina. This is the game that we have to have. No excuses. This is a must win.
Must win.
So here's my thing. If the defense is the Achilles heel, Jimmy Lake, I'm gonna be pretty much on the back of your neck all next week. Really? No, I take that back. I'm not even gonna be on the back of your neck. I'm gonna be around your neck like a bow tie is on a Muslim. That's what I'm gonna be on. Yes, sir. And I'm gonna be asking you what my bean pie is at too at this point. That's what I'm gonna ask you. What my bean pie is at? I'm gonna be right around your neck,
my brother.
just like them brothers that sell them on the corner with the bow ties. I'm gonna be on your neck like that, bro.
Looking good, my king.
You have no excuse, brother. You ain't got no excuse. I'm just saying, you already got the bald head. All I'm gonna say is I'm gonna be on your neck like a necktie. Go ahead and get my bean pies ready and get me my Quran and my newspaper, please.
Shalom, my brother. Shalom.
Your time is coming, my king.
I'm at that point with it because it shouldn't take. I get he's a first year coordinator, but you got veterans on that defense. Zach Robinson is learning to trust Kirk Cousins at this point. He's learning to trust him, and we see that. And we said that you remember I told you about the conversation, right? That they had in that Carolina game when he said, run the damn ball. I want to win. When you get Kirk to say that, done deal.
Over. Yeah. Over.
He has to get like this with his defensive leaders on this team.
I'm glad you said that because it just triggered what I was going to say earlier. That old age.
So,
oh man,
think about it. No, seriously. The biggest difference from this defense from last year, the trust that Coach Ryan had with Jesse Bates. Yeah. He allowed Jesse Bates to run team practices. He allowed him to have team meetings, and it was safety-only meetings with the secondary.
Agree.
Where that trust is not there between that defense and his defensive leaders and Jimmy Lake. That's
because they don't trust them.
That's the biggest difference.
No, Cam. Who runs a damn cover 3 shell in the red zone? Who
Nobody.
does that?
Goofball. A goof
Nobody.
troop.
You don't even do that on
goof
Madden.
troop.
I mean, come on, man. Like, for real.
Goof troop.
Common sense ain't so common.
Common sense ain't so common. I'm trying to tell y'all, common sense ain't as common as you think amongst coaches.
Nah,
coaches overthink everything for no good reason.
Well, you got people that's on some BS or whatever. And the thing is with the BS is at that point where it's got to change. And until it changes, we're going to still be in the same category. So I want to hear this here. What do you guys have for your score predictions this week?
Go ahead, Cam.
I ain't got one. I'm just hoping Atlanta win.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 28-25 Birds.
Oh, we already talked about 24, Coach.
Oh yeah, we
already covered him. We said it's a game that it was short and sweet. He has no choice but to show up this week.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with 30. I'm gonna go with 30-27. It's gonna be one of those games, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those games.
Hey, look here, Raymond. You gonna stop laughing at me, brother? I'm serious. This is a heart attack. I don't have a score for you. I just want to win. It could be 2-0 for all I care. I want to win.
Okay, I'll rehash it for you, Coach, before I get my score prediction. Shout out to Coach Brent. He's in the chat tonight.
What up, Coach?
My thing is this about AJ. AJ got paid that contract. My thing is this. He can't give up more than 5 receptions on Sunday.
Really, 4?
No, I'm giving him 5. I got to give him 5 because Baker will find a way to put the ball on his receiver. And it would be contested. I say 5. You can't give up more than 5 to 7 possessions this week, catches this week, because DK Metcalf owned you last week. And
he didn't get blocked with one arm.
No, he
blocked him with one arm.
Do y'all remember Martin back in the day?
Yeah.
Y'all remember old Otis?
Yeah, I already know where you're going with it.
Hey, all I know is when you saw DK grab him, that boy, look at that strip there, boy. You got it there by old Otis there. He was holding him like Otis was holding Martin holding Tommy at that doggone gate. He literally Otis'd him. He ain't Debo him. He did what Otis did to them people. Did the Tommy on that episode where he held him with one arm.
But that was about as bad as when Aaron Donald looked up to Devontae Freeman and walked him back 8 yards.
I can't say that because Free actually tried to fight.
Yeah, and
Free actually tried to fight him. That was the difference. AJ didn't even try to take a swing. AJ just knew, okay, you got it. You know what? I ain't even gonna fight. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna concede because that boy, you see that old man strip that boy. And AJ holding his hands up like this. It just looked awful. Like, dang, at least bite his kneecap or something, kick him or something. That was just awful. You gotta redeem yourself, bro.
Something. Show some kind of fight.
Boy,
that was bad.
I can say is,
that was bad.
Well, he is red.
He did cry in the car.
Red.
He did cry in
the car on Sunday.
No, he cried on the field. He ain't cried. He cried on the field.
Cried
you
in that
know
locker
he can't never live that down, right?
Nah, they
got picked up by one arm and blocked with one arm like that. And you over 190 pounds, brother. You can't live that down.
Yeah, he got cooked.
Run. He walked that man with one arm.
I can only imagine what Jeremy Gray had to him in the film study.
All I can say is I'm at that point where I gotta see it, man. I gotta see better. I gotta see a better performance from AJ at this point. You know what I mean? I gotta see a better performance because, hey, all I'm gonna say is this here. It's just awful. You know what? I'm wrong for that, but it's just awful when you sit back and look at how DK Metcalf did him. That was just bad.
My evil twin said DK jerked him around like a rag doll. That's exactly how it looked.
He did.
That's exactly how it looked.
Yeah, he did. It was a bad day. It was a bad day, man. But
everybody got him, but at the same time,
everybody had him.
But here's the thing, though. You don't get punked like that on the field, bro.
Yeah,
I don't care what you say.
Like
you don't get punked like that. Like, you got to throw some hands with that man or something. You don't let nobody come in your house.
You don't want to take
your house.
He can't take back-to-back lockers like that. But
bruh, my camera ended up screwing up at the end, as y'all see, or whatever. I know God don't like ugly, but guess what? At this point, I don't care. Lord, you just gonna have to just get me back for this one because
you probably will.
It hurt my heart to see a fellow defensive back get manhandled by a dang wide receiver like that.
But he's a creative player.
I don't care. You got to fight. Hey, man, we got to square up and fight. No, you ain't getting away with that. We got to fight.
You know how many times we created players like that on Madden? Literally in real life.
Man.
Doctor, you told them to credit them, huh?
Yeah, they definitely
listen, that was just awful, bro. You just That's all I can say is good Lord, man. That was just bad. Did you say what'd you say, Gray Beard?
Yeah, the prototype, like shit.
You know what? I'm wrong for this, but you know what?
The
show is still going on, but I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to do it because it pissed me off. But I gotta see it. I got the prediction for Moscow while I'm pulling this up. I'm gonna say this
No,
here.
man, I don't want to look at it no more.
21 to 17. That's what I say because it's gonna be a low scoring affair. But it's just one of them things, bro. It's just one of those things at this point. Fair use. Yes, I have to relive that moment because as a fan, yeah. Well, you know what? You ain't got no choice. I got this button over here, my boy. I got you.
God damn it. Man, it's about to be ugly, boy. God, too much.
Fair use.
On the move. Throws it back across the field.
Now brings that same style offense to the Seattle Seahawks.
There's Walker, first down inside the
literally
to the end field.
No, we got to see that one more time.
Offense to the Seattle Seahawks.
There's Walker, first down inside the 10, the 5.
He walked him, bro. He literally had him on a leash and walked him.
He gave him the high.
How do you get walked like a dog? You ain't even a UGA boy, and you got walked like a dog. You should be in disgrace. You need to turn in your cleats getting walked like that.
He gave him the Heisman. I ain't talking about the trophy neither.
Hey man, look.
Call him Darth Vader.
AJ, you gotta redeem yourself, bro. I'm gonna tell you this here. You gotta redeem yourself this week. I need an interception from you. I need 6 tackles from you, and I need only 3 to 7 receptions given up. And no touchdowns. I need that from you this week because after you got walked like that, you got to earn your reputation back, bro.
He got 4th choke. Where you going? If only you knew the power of the 4 in the dark.
He said Darth Vader choked him. Damn, that's cold.
Where are you going?
But
let him go.
But I'm not gonna keep. But we ain't gonna harp too much on it, man. I definitely appreciate y'all boys for coming through and jumping on the show tonight, and everybody that's in the chat. We definitely appreciate y'all for coming through tonight. I'm gonna say this, man. A lot of us that's going through some things in life right now, you might not see everything that's going on, whether it's with us, whether it's with you guys. You got to keep the faith at this point. You got to understand that everything happens for a reason. Sometimes we cause things on ourselves. Sometimes things are brought to our attention, and we, for no fault of our own, we don't understand why it goes on. But understand the fact that God don't make no mistakes. If you've screwed up, own up. If you've been in a situation to where you've tried the best that you can with everything and it's just not working out, remove yourself from it because you have to have a peace of mind. And the Falcons are not going to give you a peace of mind this year now.
No, they're not.
That's why we call them the blood pressure Falcons. And you have to understand, man, look, lean on God or whoever you believe in, lean on that and just understand that no matter what happens at the end of the day, anytime you wake up in the morning, you're blessed. Anytime you could have access to a job, a relationship, a family, you're blessed. Every day you got a chance and a choice. So with that being said, we got to choose to make every day better, regardless of how tough it is at this point. Just like the Falcons got to choose to play this week to win this division and go ahead and make their life a little bit easier as well. So with that being said, we appreciate y'all for coming through, and we definitely are looking forward to having the party line this week, man. Definitely want the party line this week. So y'all be safe. Y'all be easy. We love y'all, and we'll see y'all Sunday after the ball game.
Get that communion wine ready.
Say what?
Yeah,
I ain't getting no communion wine. What the hell wrong with you? Hey, we getting Allgier, Grey Goose, lemon pepper wings. Look, listen. We're up and coming. We're up and coming podcast. We can't afford that expensive liquor just yet. Once we get to the Magic City status, when we start getting to the playoffs, then we'll break out the expensive stuff. These blood pressure Falcons ain't gonna have me spending all my money.
Take me to the water.
I'm gonna bring the juice. I'm bougie.
Let's turn water into wine, fellas. Or as Coach Brandt would say, or as Fred Sanford would say, give me some of that shampoo, aka that Ripple and Cream, baby. Let's do it.
Ripple.
Ripple.
Give me that Ripper.
Hey man, look, we need to influence people on a better note, man. Look, y'all stay safe, enjoy. We'll see y'all this weekend, and we love y'all. And we'll see y'all Sunday at the party line. Peace.